Hello everyone and welcome back to Mental Transformation YouTube channel. Today we are going to continue with our lesson under puberty, and we will be focusing on to how parents can help their children before, during and after puberty, so they will be valuable member of the society for a better family and for a better society. So as our previous lesson it talk about puberty, the consequences of puberty. Today we'll be focusing only on the activity, the responsibility of parents toward their children so as to produce better children in the society. We say the first point will be provide consistent, loving discipline. Provide consistent and loving discipline. Consistent discipline means discipline that is not on and off. And loving discipline is you should involve in more of explaining, teaching, than shouting and quarreling or beating. That is what we call a loving discipline. You discipline the child in love, not in anger. In your course of your discipline, you should transfer onto the child in love and not anger. That is what we are talking about here. And then the loving discipline should start at very early age. You should not wait until when it is puberty, when the child is running out of hand. That is when you will be running to hold on to the child, to discipline the child. No, it should start at the early age so that the parents and children will know, oh, my mother, my father mean business now. And everybody has to adjust. This is not time to play. It is time for seriousness. And my father is serious, my mother is serious. They should be aware of this. This is what they call consistent and loving discipline. Secondly, we talk about create a healthy communication forum. Communication forum. Communication at your home should be healthy. It should not be a kind of communication that is not consistent. You talk to your children only when there is a problem. If they hear you calling them, it is to quarrel them, it is to beat them, or it is to do something terrible to them. No, it or to give them an instruction. It should be consistent that your children should feel free beside you at all times. This will also help children at puberty, because when children are around their puberty, they have a lot of questions to ask because of the lot of changes that they are experiencing. So if you open up to your children and create a healthy communication at home, your children will be willing and happy to come up to you at any time, and they will express their feelings, their changes onto you, and you will stand the best chance to teach them, to direct them. But if you have made your home to be a no-go zone where children cannot come onto you, then you are pushing them outside, and then they will explain it to their friends, and they will explain it to people that will maybe lead them in a very negative way. So we are telling you, parents, to open up to your children, create that healthy communication at home. Make sure your child knows you are there for him or for her. You should make sure that is there. Plant that seed in your home in order to have a better family, in order to have a better society. Encourage your child or your children to take on new challenges. We are encouraging parents that this is another strategy. From childhood, you should start encouraging your child to take on new challenges. Not only waiting to reach at puberty or when the child is choosing a wrong direction, that is when you are correct. No. Make sure from the first day you put to bed, you be observing that child. You expose that child to many challenges so as to identify which one the child is good in it. And then you focus that child to that direction. This will help many parents, and it will help you to identify the hidden talents in your children. And these hidden talents are their potential. These hidden talents are their ability. These hidden talents are their talent in which they can use it to have money, to be their future, and to be a better person tomorrow. But if you don't give them that forum, they are always in the house. You restrict them from nearly everything except reading. Then you will kill many hidden talents in our children. Listen to our previous lesson, and then you will get more of this. Know his dream, visions, and how to go about it. You should know his dream, the dream of your child. You should know the vision of your child. If you have taken all these stages, the first three stages, you will know. You will know the vision, you will know the dream, and then you also have to learn, not imposing on the child. You have to learn from the child how the child intends to go with this, to achieve this dream, to achieve this vision. You have to study the child, talk with the child, and see his own strategy. Don't impose on the child. First of all, take what the child is having, then you act and make it the right way. Know that. Let your children know that you are there for them. Let them know that their success, their responsibility, their success depend on them alone. You are just there to help. Help him or her achieve his vision by focusing his attention to his goal and role model. If you are not a role model of your child, struggle by all possible means to look a positive person in the society, an influential person in the society that is in line with the vision of your child, to focus the child attention to that person. If you are not one, and then make sure that from child, before your child reaches puberty, your child is already having a focus of his goal, of his vision, of his dreams. This will help the child not to go wayward. Talk to your child or children about ways to manage and handle feelings. You have to talk. In our previous lesson, we talk about this. How to manage feelings, how to manage doubt, how to manage fear, how to manage worries. Talk to your child how to manage all these things. It will help them. It will help them to go about. Because these are things, when they start doubting, it pushes them into. And the devil will take advantage of this. When they are afraid of certain things, maybe the future, the devil will take advantage of this. When they are worried all the time, the devil will take advantage of this. And that is why many of our children are the way they are today. So give them that chance. Teach them how to manage all this. Listen to our previous message on lessons on thought, on fear, and on doubt, on worries. Then you will understand how to go about it. Isolation should not be allowed. During puberty, when a child is at the age of puberty, it is not encouraged, it's not advisable to allow the child to isolate the child. Isolation in the way like sending the child to a dormitory school, renting a place for the child, or sending the child to somebody you are not really have 100% sure of handling or training the child. It is very dangerous. We are saying here that out of 100% of 80% of children, of our children in this 21st century are not having that full confidence. We don't have full confidence in at least 80% of our children these days that they will grow up to be a morally behave. Out of all the children, at least only 20% of them are naturally moral behaved children. Some need 80% need training. And you are not sure whether your child is among the 20% that are naturally blessed with morality. You are not sure. So don't expose your child to a danger. Because going to a dormitory school during this period is so dangerous. Because you're going to meet new friends, meet new people. It's better send the child to the dormitory school after puberty, when the child already know how to manage his or her own self alone. Is sending your child to dormitory school, as we say, is dangerous. Sending your child to rent at puberty is dangerous. Sending your child to a relative that you don't know how his capability of training is very dangerous. Find ways to spend time together with your children. That is a main strategy of controlling and going about puberty of your children. But if your child is in a dormitory school, how are you going to spend this time with? Spend time together, precious time, not gossiping time, not times of talking about negativity, talking about other people. No, spending precious time, time where you train the child, where you teach the child a basic life issue. With a child at puberty, every day is very important. Spending every day with a child at puberty is very important. This will help you to monitor the activity of the child, to monitor the feeling of the child, to monitor the behavior of the child, to monitor the friends of the child, to monitor what the child has gone through during the day, and to monitor the changes that the child is experiencing physically and inwardly, emotionally. Be his or her best friend at this time. At the time of puberty, you should be the best friend of your child. If you have many of them and one is at puberty, give more attention to that one at puberty. You should bring that one at puberty to train the one at puberty to be like the second person in command in the house. You make like that, the child will feel happy, and the child will be happy to return home, so as to do things to involve in teaching issue to help you do some certain things. Children at puberty are always excited to do that, but because parents do not give them that advantage, don't give them that chance, they will go and do it with their friends and involve in other activities with their friends, which is not good. Be the best friend. You should be the first person your child or children it should come to when they are experiencing some kind of trouble, they are worried, or they are feeling anxious. You should be the first person they should run to for advice. Allow your child to ask questions and provide him or her with honest answers using appropriate language and words. Don't chew words, don't twist things. With children at puberty, don't. Go straight to the point and use the appropriate word. If they ask a question that you are not sure of your answer, tell them that I'm not sure of the answer. But encourage the child that you and the child can join hands together and find out the answer. And take that as a challenge. The child goes out to find out, the child is there. If he's reading, the child should read to find out the answer. You also, you are in your own corner. You are showing the child how you have to find the answer. Maybe by reading, by searching on internet. Then you do that, and the child also is searching that way. And then you people will come together in the evening and then say, this is what I find out, this is what I find out. You people will have your solution. And then that will be. Don't give a wrong answer to a child at puberty. Don't use a wrong word to a child at puberty. Always listening to them is very important. We can testify that many parents, a child say, Mommy, I have something to tell you. And then you say, no, just wait, let me search for something. Before coming back, some terrible things can happen. Always listening to your child. Always. If they open their mouth and say, Mommy or Daddy, I have, don't. Even if you want to go for which kind of appointment, cancel the appointment, or you go late. But listen to what the children have to say. Children want to know that you hurt them, that you are hearing what they are saying. They want to know that you are there for them. It keeps the conversation going. It shouldn't be one-time conversation. It was very dangerous. It should be ongoing. You should always check into to see if they can remember some important point that you people discussed the last time of your conversation. Always find out. The conversation should keep on going. It should not stop. Make your family lightly. Make your family lovely. Make your family to encourage everyone to come back home. Limit focus on physical appearance of your children or the child at puberty. Because many parents always focus on the physical appearance of the changes the child is experiencing physically and forget about. Some just say, oh, at this age you have to be looking good and buy all kind of luxurious and fashion dresses for you, for the child, forgetting the important part of it. They just say at this age you have to maybe visiting, you have to have boyfriend, you have to be doing this, you have to be doing things on your own, and they just allow. No. You have to focus on the inner, on the emotion, on the sexual life of the child, on many things inwardly about the child, not just the physical part. Make the child to look neat, because naturally the child will be coming to want to look neat. But your part, the child can do that alone. Your own part, you have to involve yourself in training the child at that time to grow up morally, to take up on his moral ability, positive attitude, achievement. That is what you have to focus on. You have to look at that child at that time. You focus on what the child is focusing on, and you direct. Help your child to choose activities based on her or on his or her abilities. To choose activities based on his abilities, and praise the child all the time. He has done something positively. He is trying and failing. Encourage the child. Be there for the child. Be mindful. Be mindful of the negative comments you made about your own appearance. Negative comments. Because many parents, they are just talking without any boundaries. When you have a child at puberty in your house, you have to limit the way you talk. You have to limit things that comes out from your mouth. You have to limit them. Because some are very poisonous, some are very dangerous. You have to be careful about your love life, how you go about it in the house. Especially if you are living in a very small house with your children. Be careful about your love life. Be careful about it. It's so dangerous. Share your own experience with your child. Your own experience at puberty, when you were at puberty, will help the child greatly. If you fail at puberty, don't hide, don't pretend as if it went well with you. No, you should not just be the parent that I always passed. I was always the first in my class. No. If you have never been the first, don't tell lies that you were the first. If you were dull in school, say it clearly. If you were stubborn at puberty, say it out and give the consequences of your stubbornness. That is where it leads you. Even if you are rich and your children are marrying you, you say this is not where you were supposed to be. You were supposed to be the richest person in the whole world. But because of your stubbornness at puberty, you became poor. You are at this level. If you are poor, you make it to be. That is as a result of your this thing. Don't hide anything. Because we are fond of just giving the positive part of our life to our children. The negative part, they can learn from it. Our failure, they can learn from it. Share your own experience with the child. Keep away anger, shouting, and provocation. The first point is linked with this one. That discipline in love. Keep away anger. Some parents just carry their trouble, financial trouble, marital trouble, and pour it all on the child. And this is very dangerous, especially for children at puberty. When you are doing this, the child is learning from it without you knowing. And when the child is approaching puberty, that all the desire, all the changes, and all the ability in the child will tell the child that this place, this home will not be the best home for you. Some will go away. If I start involving myself in this thing that I love doing, my parent will shout at me. My parent will be angry. They will go away. They have choice at that time. They are thinking. So you should not involve. If you have anger, I am praying this day for you that anger will go in the name of Jesus. Shouting should not be your portion. Any little things in the house, everybody must hear your voice. No. Communicate. Share. Discuss. Even if it's a failure, even the child have disgraced you, talk with the child. Put things together. Negotiate with the child. Don't keep on shouting, keep on shouting, keep on shouting, keep on disturbing and make the home to be unbearable for the children, uncomfortable. When they will go somewhere that somebody will pamper them, somebody they will make a mistake that is greater than what they did in the house, and then the person will just welcome them in a very loving way. They will spend their times with the parents of their friends. Provocation, provoking your child, making mockery of your children at puberty is very dangerous. If the child goes wrong, if the child have done something that is not okay, call the child, talk with the child. Don't provoke, don't make any mockery of the child. Be ready for her first periods. These are for the girl children. You have a girl child in your house. When the child is at 8, you should be ready. The child should never go to school without sanitary items in his or her in her bag. It should be there. In school bag, it should be there. And you should have to teach the child how to use them. You have to talk to your children about making good decisions. and your family values, the family value, the family image. You talk to your child how you people intend to preserve the image of your family. And this will also help. Disgrace should not come in. Tell the child, teach the child how to go about it. Train your child to always tell you where they are and what they are doing. That is what I'm talking today, that if all our parents can tell the government where their children are presently now and what they are doing, we will have a better nation. We have a better society. Many of us don't know where our children are. Many thousands don't know where they are. Some are a prostitute somewhere. Some are a terrorist somewhere. Some are thieves somewhere. Some are doing terrible things for the society somewhere. But you don't know. You don't know. Try to find out where your child is and what the child is doing. And then to have this and have full confidence for your child is to train the child from childhood up to this point. And at this point, you will be guaranteed, as the Bible says, train up a child in a way when the child grow up, it will not depart from it. But we keep on training and putting a lot of hypocrisy in it, in our training of our children. And when they fail, we blame society, we blame the devil, we blame all the government. And that is why it is common today for people to point fingers up to the government for an irresponsible child. As if the government was the one to train your child. Where are those good children coming from? That no matter their status, no matter the things they are facing, they are not behaving like your own child. Find out, train a child. With all this, puberty is in no way scary at all. If you put all this together, and if you follow mental transformation on YouTube channel, all this, puberty will not be something that you have to be afraid of. You will face it with full confidence, and you will enjoy your family. The last point talk about train your child in the fear of God. We should never keep God away. I always end with the word of God, so that you should begin with the word of God. As you are ending, you start your life with the word of God. Because in our blessing, we talk about what? In everything, if you want to succeed, start with God. If you want to start a family, start with God. And end with a man. Don't start with man and then end with God. When you start with man, destruction, disobedience, stubborn children will be their portion. But when you start with God, you raise children that you will be proud of. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 1 to 5 says, "My child, never forget the things I have taught you. Store my commands in your heart. If you do this, you will live many years, and your life will be satisfied. Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart. Then you will find favor with both God and people, and you will earn a good reputation. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take." When parents and children work together, work with God, puberty can be an exciting time of expectation for all God has in store for the future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. God knows the plan He has for you, a plan to prosper you and not to harm you, a plan to give you future and not to destroy your future. But if you choose to destroy your child future at puberty, this will not be your portion. If you choose to destroy your life at puberty as a child, this will not be your portion. The plan of God will not manifest in your life. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we are begging and pleading on you to subscribe on our YouTube channel, that is Mental Transformation. Like our videos and share it with other people, because it is all out to educate us for a better society, a conducive environment for everybody. Thank you very much.